What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Weekly Scroll. This is your quick social media update of the week brought to you by Call Her Creator Podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin Rhodes, and in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to catch you up on everything you need to know about what's trending on Instagram right now, from the features to algorithm shifts, so you can stay ahead without spending hours researching. This episode is brought to you by Stan, your all-in-one creator store, and y'all, I'm obsessed with their new tool, Stanley AI. It will literally scan your social media accounts, study your best performing posts, and then it sends you fresh content ideas every single week. So you're not just spinning your wheels trying to figure out what to post next. It's almost like having your own personal strategist in your DMs. So you can find the link to try Stanley AI in the show notes, and trust me, you're going to want to. Okay, let's get to the scroll. Here are 5 trending Instagram updates that you need to know about right now. So the first one is for all of my mamas out there. They are now defaulting teen accounts to PG-13 content. And I love this update. As a mother, they're rolling out stricter content filters for anyone that's under the age of 18. Strong language, risky stunts, drug references, suggestive themes, they'll all be hidden or at least deprioritized. And any change to loosen up those filters is going to require parental permission. Love that. Next update, Instagram repost feature is getting some love right now on the app. You can now repost public reels and feed posts. This is a feature that many creators have been excited about. But one of the biggest updates is that we don't have to use any more third-party apps or take screenshots or share them to our stories. We literally just press that little repost button. It's almost like retweeting whenever you're on Twitter, or if you use X. It's super easy to just repost content. When you repost someone's content, it's going to appear too in a dedicated repost tab on your profile. Love that. It also shows up in followers feeds and on the new friends activity tab, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then it's making discovery and connection way more social again. So kind of like early Instagram energy, right? But smarter. This is a big signal that Instagram wants us to share more content that we love, not just constantly create from scratch. So if you want to use this feature strategically, here's a couple things that you can try. Creators reposting audience wins or testimonials, brands reposting user-generated content using their brand, product, service, whatever it might be. Coaches, maybe you repost a client transformation, or maybe your client posted working out with you. You're able to just repost their content right onto your feed. The repost tab is a reflection of what you stand for. So keep it aligned with your brand vibe. If you wouldn't post it yourself, don't repost it. Think of it almost like a Pinterest board. It should tell a cohesive story about your taste, your values, and your niche. But the bottom line here is reposting is finally native to Instagram, and it's giving us a new way to stay visible without burning out. So just make sure that everything you share adds value and not noise. All right, next feature is there is a new Friends tab that they're rolling out on Instagram. So Instagram rolled out a new Friends tab inside the Reels section. It lives at the top next to the usual Reels tab. When you tap it, instead of seeing the general Reels feed, which is mostly the algorithm recommended content, you're actually going to see Reels that your friends have engaged with. So that means Reels your friends have liked, Reels they've commented on, Reels they've reposted, Reels they've created themselves. Also recommendations based on blends. Now, Instagram's newer collaborative, like shared formats. I don't know if you guys have seen the blends feature, but that's what that is. We can talk about that on another episode. But basically, anything that your friend is engaging with, you'll be able to see it there in that Friends tab. All right, next update is the Edits app upgrades. More creative control over there in the Edits app. I love using Edits to edit any of my videos, and we've already heard through Mossery and through different media outlets that when you use the Edits app, it will get favored over on Instagram. So there's a couple new features that are kind of upgrades for the Edits app. The first one is the clip feature. It's like an clip overlay conversion. So what that does, what does that mean? You can now take a clip and turn it into an overlay, or vice versa, over another video. If you've ever been to my page, you can scroll down and see where I'm maybe teaching about content types and I'm there pointing at different reels, giving you different examples. That's an overlay over my video. This just gives you like an extra layer on top of your video. There's also something called keyframe control. This gives you the ability to animate properties like maybe the text, or maybe you put an object over the video. You can turn it down, the opacity of it. You can put it in different positions. You can scale it bigger. You basically can make like smooth transitions, different fades in and out, move elements, all that good stuff. It just adds sophistication to your video. And then there's saved sound effects and searchable audio. You can now save your go-to sound effects, access them quickly, and then search through them more quicker. This means less digging for you, and it's going to cut your editing process in half because you're not going to have to dig for everything, right? There's also more sound effects that were added. Over 250 new sound effects, including seasonal ones like Halloween themed, are now inside of the sound effects tab. And then lastly, there are more text, more stylish animated text presets, and even a custom font by Jenny that is exclusively in the Edits app, and you won't find it in any other editing apps. All right. Now, it's also worth noting here, the Edits app continues to aim for tight integration with Instagram. So like exporting without the watermark, direct functionality to publish through the app. A couple tips I wanted to give you guys regarding the Edits app, just because I love it so much. One is start simple. You can use the overlay tool, try it before and after. If you, maybe you're in the beauty industry, the medical spa, and someone just got Botox, maybe you do their before photo, showing them with their wrinkles. And then the video, the actual video, is you giving the Botox or the after effect. So you got a really good transformational type video there. The save your go-to sound effects. As soon as you find a sound that you love in the library, go ahead and just save it. It's going to pay off when you don't have time to search for it next time. The preset text animations for branding, grab one that fits your brand aesthetic, just swap the copy, and just keep it consistent so you're not reinventing every single time you add text overlays to your video. And then don't forget the export and quality checks. Even though Edit supports high quality export with no watermark, always make sure that you're previewing before you post it, just to make sure that your layers and your transitions all look smooth. The last update I have for you guys is that the algorithm is getting smarter. So AI content recognition and reprioritizing original content is at the top of the list for Instagram. So I've noticed lately when I'm going to repost an old video that performed well as a trial reel, I'll actually get a message that says, this video is not going to get much traction because you've already posted it before. And they're not lying. When I go to look at that trial reel result, I'm seeing like less than 10 views, which is absolutely crazy. So make sure that you are posting original content. I know myself and other Instagram gurus have taught you in the past to repost your top performers as trial reels, but I am seeing Instagram crack down on that hack. So it might be time to just start trying new different formats and content ideas to see how that works. And that's our weekly scroll for the week. I hope you liked learning about what's trending, what's new, what's being favored over on Instagram. If you did like this episode, please screenshot it, give me a shout out over on stories, and I hope that you'll download my money walk playlist. So if you're new here, I do something called a money walk every day, and that's just me plugging into a really good podcast episode, getting in my movement, but also getting those creative juices flowing in my brain. And I have a free playlist that you can download right now in the show notes. It's called the Money Walk playlist. And for the next 5 days, you could walk with me on a money walk, listen to the same playlist that I'm listening to, and grow your brand. Simple as that. All right, guys, I will see you next week for our weekly scroll update.